Hello YouTube, joystick enthusiasts, gamers, flight simmers, space simmers, and hopefully a CH or APEM product manager or two. Recently, CH has reached out to certain members of the community soliciting feedback from basically joystick users and flight, space sim gamers on possible recommendations for a revamp or new products from CH, since they really haven't done any major redesigns in about the last 20 years. So today I'm going to give you basically my feedback and wish list for an updated CH products. First off would be the fighter stick here, and really I would only be asking for two major features here to be added. And I've got the Thrustmaster Warthog to basically demonstrate what I'm going to be asking for. One is a pinky paddle down here. The other is a clickable button here, as well as being a four-way hat. Basically you have that here, paddle, four-way hat that's also clickable, depressible as a button. That is the only two things that really keep me hooking up this joystick for DCS. A couple of other recommendation suggestions I may have. Some people are going to be asking for a dual stage trigger, similar to here. That's something personally I can take or leave. Although another suggestion that I would make is this hat up here. It is a 8 POV switch or 8-way hat switch, but it really operates and feels more like a mini stick. So basically, if you replace this hat with the existing mini stick from the CH Pro Throttle, it might be something to take under advisement and again make it depressible and clickable essentially as another button, because you can never have too many buttons. But if they were to do that and release it as a Fighter Stick Pro, I would be pre-ordering that as soon as they announced it, essentially. I'm replacing my CH Fighter Stick. And if I did that, likely this sucker would be going on eBay, or I would be selling it to one of my friends who really, really wanted a Warthog at a very fair price. I would be getting rid of the Thrustmaster Warthog at that point. So, on to the CH Pro Throttle. I really don't have a lot of recommendations here. It pretty much does its job pretty darn well. Maybe add another paddle switch, like on the Fighter Stick, that would simulate the detent, the engine detent switch or flap for the F-16. I think the F-35 or F-22 has something very similar there. I think it's the F-35 has something very similar there for engine detent. Now, for a new stick design, especially for 6 Degrees of Freedom space games, here's what I would do. I would take the Flight Stick Pro and put this head on it. In fact, I think this head is very similar in size to the actual Flight Stick Pro currently. Now, of course, you keep the Flight Stick Pro's trigger, maybe add a pinky and paddle switch down here, similar to my suggestion for the CH Fighter Stick. But keep this head. Full analog mini stick with a clickable button up here, a couple of four-way hat switches. You know, maybe this should become a single action button down here as opposed to an 8-way hat switch. Single action, dual action trigger, what have you. If you did that, you'd have almost the ideal setup for a dual stick or for left-handed users. Again, don't put any other molding on it. Keep it an ambidextrous stick. And you have the ultimate left-handed or dual stick option, especially for 6 Degrees of Freedom, because 2 sticks, basically at that point, gives you 8 axes, which would be the same as this current HOTAS with rudder pedals. You add rudder pedals to the mix, at that point you get 11 axes. So plenty for space games and things of that nature. Now, something that I would hold off on would be adding twist to the stick. As far as I can tell, the only thing that adding twist does to a stick is lessen its reliability and durability and longevity, which are 3 factors of why people tend to choose CH over other products, including myself. I mean, those of us who have bought CH for many, many years, those of us who recommend it to other people on YouTube or our friends in game channels and game chats and forums and things of that nature, all pretty much say the same thing. The reason why we use CH, the reason why we go back to CH if we buy another set later on, you know, this is my second CH setup in 20 years, is the fact that it works. It's rock solid products. It is certainly function over form. You know, we don't need fancy lights or anything like that. We want a product that if we're going to be spending $200, $300, $400 on it, that it works and that it lasts. And that's really what we're asking for above anything else, and that is something that you all at CH and APEM have delivered consistently for the past 30 years. My first joystick was a Mach 3, circa 1985. And that thing lasted about 8 years. I used some other sticks in the early 90s, and then about 95, started building up with a Flight Stick Pro, Pro Throttle, Pro Pedals. Then I went to an X45, and then I'm back to CH, and there's a reason for that. Don't mess with the reasons why we choose to continue to recommend your products over everything else on the market, including newer and arguably more superior gear that's more expensive. Again, add a paddle switch and a button here, and this thing goes on eBay. I mean, that's how it is from my personal point of view. Now, something else along those lines is, I know that some folks are asking for a redressing of CH Control Manager. Don't, please. Or I should say, please don't, because it works. I have profiles that I wrote for my old gear in like 1999. They still work in 2015. CH Control Manager worked in Windows 98. It still works today in Windows 10. Don't mess with something that works. You know, if it ain't broke, don't necessarily go looking to fix anything. Again, it may look dated. It could use some sprucing up in some places, maybe. But functionally, you know, we buy these products function over form. Largely, that's what your target market, that's what your current existing market recommends, and why we buy and why we recommend these products. Don't go messing with that. And that's pretty much my only suggestions. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment below, share. Let's see if we can't get some other meaningful feedback, ideas, and suggestions. I by no means have a lock or monopoly on all of the ideas when it comes to CH products, but personally, from my perspective, my point of view, those are the wish list items that I have for CH products. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this finds its way into the hands of a couple of APEM or CH product managers and give you some food for thought. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.